I'm about to show you how you can set up a YouTube ad completely from scratch. Or set up the ad campaign, that is. Now, you might be wondering if YouTube ads are the right way for you to go. I love YouTube ads. I have had better results with YouTube ads than almost anything for a few reasons. Number one, YouTube is owned by Google, and Google knows pretty much everything about everybody. So I can target my ads to exactly the people that are most likely to buy. So depending on what the ad is, I can target it to people who are already looking for what my offer is, right? That they've typed in their Google search engine, I'm looking for this thing, how to find this thing, how to do this thing, or this thing near me, right? And I can target my ads directly to them. Or if it's something that maybe people aren't looking for directly, I can target based on what kind of job they're in, which is actually what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to show you, you're going to get a behind the scenes look here at some of the targeting options that are available in YouTube. And you're going to see this is pretty powerful. Now, you do, of course, have to pay when you're doing ads. But why I really like ads is because it's very predictable. If I was to run YouTube videos, or if I was to do social media, or even if I was just to rely on word of mouth or referrals or that kind of thing, then I don't really have very much control over who's coming in. I don't have very much predictability because it's just kind of, I'm just waiting and hoping that the algorithm or one of my customers is going to refer somebody to me, or is going to, show somebody my video or my social media post. I don't really have much control over that. But with ads, I do have control. I can say, I'm going to spend X dollars and I'm going to show this ad to 1,000 people. And then once I get a baseline for how that ad is performing, so maybe the ad gets me $10 per lead, and maybe 1 out of 20 of those leads becomes a client, for example. Well, then I know I need 20 leads to be a client. I have to spend $200. So I spend $200, I get a client. I spend another $200, I get another client. I spend $2,000, I get 10 clients, right? It's very predictable. And as long as I'm making more per sale than I'm paying for the ads, then I'm good. And then I can pretty much scale. I mean, there is a ceiling. Eventually you reach everyone in the world, but depending on the business that you have, chances are you're probably going to get nowhere near that before you're jam-packed with all the customers you can take. So what I'm about to do here is let you look over my shoulder and watch me as I create a new YouTube ad from scratch. Now, as I'm filming this, YouTube has made big changes to their platform. So I may fumble through this just a little bit because the way that it's organized is a little bit different than it was just recently. But it's still basically the same stuff. And don't worry, I'll find it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so this here is my YouTube ads dashboard. And I'm going to go ahead and create, well, there's two things here. I could just copy one. Well, I said I would create it from scratch. Normally I would just copy one of my existing campaigns and then change the settings. But for the benefit of you guys watching, I'm going to go ahead and create a new one from scratch. So I'm going to hit the plus, new campaign. And I'm going to make this a leads objective. So what this means, this part is important actually. When you say choose your objective, the way that the targeting works, the way that YouTube ads decides who to show your video to, who to show your ads to, is very much AI driven. So you tell it at the beginning, you give it a basic idea of these are the people that I want you to show ads to. And then from there, it notices patterns. And okay, I showed within those parameters that I set, the algorithm showed it to some people over here and some people over here. And the people over here responded better than the people over here. Right? It's people with a certain characteristic responded better than people with a different characteristic. And without me having to tell the ad platform, it's going to figure out that, okay, people that are a little older like this video more than people that are a little younger, or people that are fans of this YouTube channel like the video, or are more likely to become leads than the people that are not fans of this channel, right? And it starts to notice patterns in who tends to respond to the ad. And then when it starts to recognize those patterns, then it will direct the ad to the people who have historically, or to people similar to the people who have historically responded better. And so when I say responded better, that's what this objective is. It's defining, what do I mean? Like, what do I care about in terms of response? So if I click on sales, then it's going to try to get me the cheapest cost per sale that it can. That's what it's optimizing for. It's going to show it to the people that are most likely to buy at the lowest price. If I click on leads, then it's going to show it to the people that are most likely to opt in, to fill out a form at the lowest possible price. If I click on website traffic, it's going to send it to the people that are most likely to click on the ad at the lowest possible price. And when I say the lowest possible price, this is all based on an auction. So it's competition. I'm going to try to get you a click for the person that has the least competition of people that are trying to advertise to them. Because the more people are trying to advertise to, or the more ads are directed at a person, the higher the price is going to be to get your ad shown to that person. So, and this presents a bit of a conflict, because oftentimes you don't necessarily want the cheapest person that nobody else wants to show ads to. Oftentimes the cheapest person is the person that has no money and is a bad customer, right? So you don't really want the cheapest person, but that's what it's optimizing for. And so there's a bunch of strategy around that, which I don't think I'm going to get into in detail here, because that's a big subject. I have other stuff on my YouTube channel on that topic if you're interested. Anyway, so I'm going to optimize for leads. Now you might ask, why not optimize for sales, right? Aren't you more interested in getting a sale than getting a lead? The answer is yes, I am more interested in getting a sale, but the problem is that for this to be useful, it needs to have data. And so I need to get a bunch of sales data. Like, I need to get maybe 50 or 100 people to buy my product before this is really relevant. So it can get data a lot faster on leads than it can on sales. Because the way that my funnel works, I expect, maybe 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 50 1 out of 50 leads to actually get a sale. So I can get good data on leads 20 to 50 times faster than I can get good data on sales. Now, eventually, this is something brand new that I'm running, by the way. Eventually, once I've gotten a bunch of sales, then I'll probably go back and duplicate this ad and then run it with the sales objective. But for now, before I have data, I'm going to set it on leads. Leads is usually the best bet here. And I'm targeting, by the way, for this campaign, I'm targeting under $10 leads. I would like to get leads for less than $10 a piece. I'd really like to get them for less than $5 a piece. I'm not sure how doable that is, because this is a new audience that I've never marketed to before. So we'll see what happens, but I think I can probably get them for under 10 at least. Anyway, now, so this is like the overall objective, the high level objective. And now it's asking me which specific conversion goals am I interested in. So that is this is related to your tracking. So you set up your tracking, and this is the boring, nerdy part of the ad setup, but it's really, really, really important. So bear with me for just a couple of minutes here, because it matters a lot. And Jim says, are you able to upload emails of people who bought your product? Yes, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. And what have you historically paid for YouTube leads? That depends a heck of a lot on the industry and what I require of people to become a lead. But generally, if I'm just a lead is just an opt-in for a free training or free lead magnet of some sort, I'm generally in the $5 to $10 range. So conversion goals. These are the specific tracking code that you've set up that are where you define what a lead is and anything else in your funnel. So I have tracking goals set up for both a lead and a purchase, which I'm gonna give it both of those. And so I'm gonna hit add goal, and it's called, I think I set this up already. I think it's this one, Yam Gold, maybe. Let me see. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna open a new window. You have to excuse me. I had the flu like a month ago, and this cough just will not go away. Driving me nuts. Okay, so this is a new Google Ads window, and I'm going to go into goals and conversions and summary. Just verifying that I already set this up. I may not have. Okay, these are the custom goals down here. I won't go into how to do that. Yeah, I think it's just this one. Yeah, okay, so that's it. I'm gonna add that. And then I'm gonna get rid of these other goals. These are just defaults that it set. I'm not interested in these. And okay, so this is, I've told the ads algorithm what it is that I am interested in getting, like what I want to optimize for. I'm going to hit continue. This is going to be so now I have a choice. I always used to do a video campaign because that's what a YouTube campaign is, but they're actually getting rid of this option. In just like 2 months, they're going to get rid of this option, and you're only getting, the only way to advertise on YouTube is going to be this one, the demand gen, which is not only YouTube, but also Discover and Gmail. So that's, you know what Gmail is. It's the email platform. So you can advertise on the email platform, and then Discover means like their image ads that show up on websites. And so they're kind of lumping it all together. So you can't just do straight YouTube ads anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and do demand gen. I mean, I'm stuck with it eventually anyway. I might as well get used to it, right? I'm not really happy that they're doing that, but it is what it is. They're Google. They can do what they want. And actually, I did run some demand gens recently, demand gen campaigns, and they got good results. So it's not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm going to give the campaign a name. So I'm going to say, the way that I always name it in a way that I can see at a glance exactly what it is. So this is going to be, and I'm advertising a live webinar here. So I'm saying sign up for this live training. And I should give you some background on this. I am targeting what the webinar is showing you how to create a business like mine, where you run YouTube ads for companies and you get them customers. And the target audience for this, now anybody can do this, really. Anybody can learn the skill of YouTube ads and run that as a business for clients. And it's a very valuable service because you're using the most powerful ad platform on earth and you're getting people clients. And so if you're making them money, then they will pay you some of that money, right? It's a pretty clear-cut value proposition. And so I'm teaching other people how to do this. So anybody can do it, but who I am specifically targeting here is people that are already working in marketing. So there's tons of people that are working in marketing departments for corporations, and they're getting paid pretty mediocre salaries. And so I'm saying, hey, you can, if you will do some freelance work for companies, you can use the skills that you already have, and you can make a side income from it. You can have a side hustle. So this is a specific angle that is a really big part of advertising. Like, really good advertising is focusing on this specific part of my audience. I can advertise to a big, broad audience for this, but I'm just taking a specific part and I am calling them out specifically. And I'm saying, hey, you can use the skills that you already have and start a business rather than start a business starting from scratch. So that's kind of the value proposition. That's who I'm targeting. So I always name it, like, I start with just kind of what it's advertising. And then this ad is called Do You Realize? That's the name of the ad video. And then I'm going to replace this with whatever targeting option I put in here. I'm going to replace it later because I'm not quite sure what targeting I'm going to do just yet. I still have to figure that part out. So, okay, conversion goals. This is all right. Good. Daily budget. I usually set $5 a day to start. And I always do a bunch of variations. I never do just one ad. I do a bunch of variations of both the ad itself. If you notice over here, I have 3 ads that I am going to be running, 3 ad videos. And I'll generally do those with 2 or 3 different targeting options. So I got basically 3, if I do 3 ad videos times 3 targeting options, then I have 9 different variations. And so the chance of one of those 9 variations performing well is pretty high because I'm throwing a whole bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? I'm pretty educated as to how to do this to begin with. So I'm pretty, like, if I was to just do one video with one targeting option, my chances of success would be pretty good. But doing 9 of them, my chances of success are like close to 100%. Nothing is 100%, but pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to leave all of these as is and go to ad group 1. So there's 3 different levels here. There's a campaign, there's an ad group, and there's an ad. The way that I do this is, the way that they have it set up, you can have multiple ad groups per campaign, and you can have multiple ads per ad group. The way that I like to do it is just 1 ad group, 1 ad per campaign. So 1 campaign, 1 ad group, 1 ad. Just makes things much simpler, in my opinion. I'm going to do United States and Canada, I suppose. Although I go back and forth on whether to include Canada because it seems like they're having more and more difficulty paying for stuff. Seems like they're not doing well economically. So maybe I'll test that. And any Canadians listening can weigh in, tell me your opinion there. I don't live in Canada. My dad's Canadian. I've been there a lot of times, but it's been a while. So my view of that is very much as an outsider who is occasionally having conversations with Canadians about how I can help them with their business. That's pretty much it. Anyway, add an audience. Okay, so I'm going to add an audience. This part is important. This is where I tell the ad algorithm who exactly I want to target. So I'm going to hit new audience. And what I would like to find is people who are working as in marketing, like in corporate marketing. And so I'm going to go with interest and detailed demographics. So what this is, and you can see there's a lot of different ways to target people. I'm not going to go through all of these, but this is kind of the canned ones that Google already has available for you, which is pretty cool because if they have a canned one that's exactly your audience, which a lot of times they do. I mean, like, look, I can just target people that are in the market for real estate, that are looking to buy a house. I can target people that are looking for a job. I can target people that are looking for SEO and SEM services. Like those are just a few suggestions. There are a ton of these. So I'm going to go into browse. Going to go into, just let me look at in market real quick. Actually, no. Normally in market is the best because in market means people that are actually looking for something. So if you sell painting services, you can go and find people that are already looking for painting services. If you sell digital marketing services, you can find people that are already looking for digital marketing services. It's like the easiest cheat code that there is. And it's also why YouTube ads, or one of the reasons why YouTube ads are the best platform that there is, because Facebook doesn't know what people are looking for. TikTok doesn't know what people are looking for, but Google sure knows what people are looking for. So that it's really powerful. But in my particular case here, I don't think that my audience is actually looking for the thing that I offer here. I could be wrong, but generally this is something that they probably would not have thought of. They're not, I could get into this whole lecture on market sophistication. I won't get into it too much, but there's a difference between people who are problem aware and people who are solution aware. So a person who's solution aware says, I'm looking for a side gig in order to make more money. And then somebody who's problem aware is, I'm not making enough money in my job, but I don't really know what to do about it. So they know what the problem is, but they don't know what the solution is. So what I'm doing is I'm targeting these problem aware people. And so I'm going to target them based on their job title or like job type. So that's probably going to be under affinity, I think, or maybe detailed demographics. Yeah, employment industry. And no, they don't have marketing specifically. Okay. So that's not going to work. Let me go on to affinity. That I'm not seeing either here. That's okay though. Let me search instead of browse. Let me just search marketing. Okay, so this is in market. So these are people that are looking for marketing. There's a lot of marketing, or a lot of in market rather. Okay, here's an affinity. Business professionals. Okay, so some marketing people would be business professionals, so that would be okay. Here, various industries, bachelor's degree, that might almost work. Okay, I don't see anything that's really good here. Oh, people looking for career consulting services, that might kind of work. Or what about starting a business soon? People who are about to form a new business. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's try business professionals. So it says, and if you look at the description, people with professional, managerial, or office jobs. Okay, so I'm going to go with that one for now. So marketing obviously is one little subset of business professionals. So this is much broader than I ultimately want. But that's actually okay with me because, again, this is just kind of giving us a hint as to how to start. The AI, the algorithm, is going to figure out the patterns and is going to figure out who to show it to. So this is starting a little bit broad, but that's okay. It can figure out the patterns. Now, demographics, I want, and I can exclude people too, based on, it's just based on my data. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, demographics. So it always says recommend all demographics. I am not going to do that. I'm going to go to this one down here. That is household income. This is really important to me because bottom 50%. So it's like, here's what I got. Here are my options. I get basically 10% deciles, or I can target or exclude the lower 50%. So I'm pretty sure that the lower 50% are pretty much all dead broke. Either they don't have a job at all, or they're like working at McDonald's. So I'm going to exclude the lower 50%. And, so I'm going to start at 41% actually. And I'm going to go up to the top 10%. Or no, I did it backwards. Top 10% to 50%. And I'm going to uncheck unknown. So these are people that Google doesn't know what their income level is. So this is important because remember I told you that it's going to optimize for the lowest price leads? Well, the lowest price leads tend to be the people with the least money. So if somebody is homeless and makes no money at all, but they're watching YouTube on their free Obama phone, then not a lot of people are going to want to market to that person. So, I mean, unless they're selling like Medicaid services or Section 8 housing or something, like something that's the government is paying for instead of the person, then by the way, if you're in one of those industries, you have got it made with advertising because you advertise dirt cheap because you're advertising to the people that nobody else wants to advertise to. So you can get leads like crazy if you do that. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm advertising something that I want people to pay for. So people who are in the bottom 50% of income earners are going to have a hard time paying for it. So I'm going to make sure that it's not targeting those people, because if I allow it to target those people, then it's going to show the majority of my ads to those people, right? Because those people are the cheapest. It's optimizing for the cheapest, so it's going to show most of my ads to the brokest people. And if I put unknown, then it'll show most of my ads to unknown. So I prefer to uncheck unknown and put the top 50% here. And I'm selling something that's not terribly expensive. So if it was more expensive, then I might do like top 30 or top 20%. Okay. So I got to name the audience. So I'm going to say business professionals, top 50% income. I always like to make my names descriptive just so I know what they are without having to dig into all the settings. And then, cool. And then, okay, this is really, really important. Optimized targeting is saying Google may find people beyond your selected audience. In other words, I just told you I want people in the top 50% income, but if I leave this checked, it's giving it permission to target people who are not in the top 50% income. So it's like, it's just shooting myself in the foot. And it's going to, if I leave this checked, I guarantee you it will show most of my ads to people that are in the bottom 50% income because they're the cheapest. That's what it's optimizing for. So I'm going to uncheck that. That's very important. Okay. And then, cool. So that's it for the ad group level. And I don't name the ad groups, by the way, just because I only have one ad group and one ad. I leave the naming convention just at the campaign level. So I will go to add, and then I'm going to create a video ad, and I'm not going to name it. Final URL. So this is the link that the person goes to when they click on the ad. I'm going to grab that over here from my Kartra, and that will be this one. Okay, I'm going to paste it right in there. That looks good. And then the videos, I can add multiple videos this time, but I don't want to confuse this. Like, I want to be able to compare the videos side by side, so I'm going to only put one video. So I'll do this one, the final one. Make sure that matches my name. Yeah, do you realize? Do you realize? Okay. Make sure that matches and paste. So this, by the way, is just the videos that I have uploaded to YouTube. You can see these last three have 0 views because I have not been running them as ads yet. So I just copied and pasted the link to that video in here, and then choose where my videos show. What? I don't know what just happened there. Ah, okay, cool. So it's in stream, in feed, in shorts, or show on all formats. Okay, so yeah, so I'll get to that later. And then I hit edit, what happens? Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Edit, this is just my logo. Yeah. And then, okay, so video enhancement. So I can get vertical and square versions of my videos, which I don't want because I don't think that's going to look good. And I can get shorter versions of my videos, which means it's just going to slice out parts of my video, which I definitely don't want. So I'm going to uncheck that as well. Okay. Now I need a headline, and what's that going to be? So maybe, yeah, so this is for in-stream. So if you look over here, this is the preview of what this thing's going to look like, and in various different formats. This one is in-stream. This is the one that I care about most. And so that's what I'm going to start looking at. And then I want to put a headline, which is going to show up down here, I believe. And that will be, let's see, marketing side gig. How about that? Cool. That looks good. What if I put like free training? Then it's too long, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, cool. And I'm not going to bother with putting multiple headlines. I don't think it makes much of a difference. It's the video that counts here. So long headline, that is, I'm going to go back over here. So this is a home feed. So this is, people see my video as a thumbnail, and they can click on it if they want. You see ads sometimes mixed in with their recommendations. So I don't really care about this as much. I care more about the in-stream, but I want to make sure that it at least looks nice. So I'm going to put a headline. So say like work in or maybe let's say 5K a month side income for people who work in marketing. Or instead of side income, let's say side hustle. Okay, so that's cool. So somebody who works in marketing might think, oh, that's interesting. I never heard of that before. They might actually click on it. And then description is going to be this thing down here, which I'll say let's say maybe learn how to start for free. Or maybe I'll say like get started in let's say 4 weeks or less, period. Or maybe let's say how to get started in 4 weeks or less. How about that? Okay, so that sounds good. I don't really give these things a whole lot of thought, but obviously the better they are, the better. Jim says, do you find either desktop ads more effective than mobile ads? Yeah, that's a good question. I did look at that in the past, and I think the answer is yes. Desktop ads are more effective just because people who are sitting down at a desk at their computer are kind of more higher quality prospects than people that are watching YouTube on their phones. That said, the majority of people on YouTube these days are on their phones. So if you do only desktop, you target only desktop, then you're missing a lot of people. So I do both. Is this ad for a live webinar or evergreen? This is for a live webinar, but I don't say that in the ad just because this might turn into a evergreen webinar sometime in the future. And for anybody who doesn't understand what that means, an evergreen webinar is just like a webinar that's actually recording. It's not live. But this one's going to actually be live. It might turn into a recorded webinar later. Okay, call to action text automated. I'm going to say sign up. The business name is marketing. And it's because I'm asking them to sign up for webinars, so I think sign up makes the most sense. Oh, but it says watch or sign up. That's weird. Okay, whatever. Not really that worried about that. And then I can see what it looks like in other places as well. So I can see what the Discover ads look like. And marketing side gig. I don't really love that, but that's what works better for YouTube, so I'm going to leave it. I care less about Discover. The Gmail. Oh, it's preview unavailable. Okay, whatever. Oh, that's interesting. So I can see what it looks like on desktop too. But it's not going to give me any previews. They just created this type of ads recently, so they're still getting the kinks out, I guess. Then anything with URL, nope, don't care. I'm just going to leave that as is. Oh, and then combinations and placements. Let's see this. And it's not gonna, it's just previewing. It's not gonna let me actually see it or choose it rather. Okay. Oh, and this thing where it like rates your ad strength and it gives you suggestions, ignore this. They have no idea what they're talking about, at least for direct response ads. I think like YouTube's kind of goal, they don't really care about small businesses like me. They want Coke and Pepsi and Toyota and like all the big brands to be pushing their ads, which are like branding ads, which are a different type of ad. So I almost totally ignore all of the recommendations that it gives me. And then, okay, I will go to review. And yeah, it's gonna tell me, oh, I can't spend $5 a day. I need to spend $50 a day. Okay, so I'm obviously not going to listen, and I'm going to hit publish campaign. And there we go. So that's running. I'm going to go back to my campaigns dashboard. And there's one more thing that I need to do here, which I'm not 100% sure how, because this is a new type of ad. But I want to add exclusions, which I believe is under content. So I want to say the places where I do not want it to show. And, oh, okay, so it already put my exclusions, I believe. Is it at account level? Yeah, okay, that worked. Okay, so it's already there. What this is, let's put campaign level. Okay, yeah, so this is, I don't want display partners. So that means like other websites where they can show videos that aren't YouTube, because they'll try to do that and they perform terribly. And I don't want to show on gaming channels, kids channels, mobile apps, or music channels. So I exclude all of those from my campaign. And just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and add that. I do that on all my campaigns because those are just going to be poor quality traffic for me. And Jim says, what was your past cost per customer using YouTube ads? Man, that's all over the place. Like anywhere from like, you know, maybe $50 at best to $1,000. It's all over the place. So it depends a lot on your sales process. I mean, if you're selling something for, let's say, you know, I've never really done this, but let's say you're selling a $7 ebook, then you could get a customer for, you're probably not going to get break even on that. You'd have to make more money on the back end, but you could get a customer for probably like 15 or 20 bucks. Whereas if you're going to sell a $10,000 coaching program, you're going to have to spend a few $100 at least to get a customer. So it's really all over the place. Anyway, so that's it for that particular campaign. And then I will show you campaign number 2, just because I can basically just copy and paste this and use everything the same. So I'm going to hit edit, copy, and paste. And this will take just a moment. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to change the name on that one. Let me. Where did that go? Always looks weird here. I'll just leave as is for now. I'll get it in a second. So I click on the add group. So that's the first thing I want to change is the audience. So this is the clone that I just made. So I'm just going to change a couple of things. I'm going to leave everything else the same. give this a chance to load up here. Which everything is slower when I'm sharing my screen. There it is. Okay. I'm going to switch audience. And I'm going to put a new audience. Okay, and I think here I will do a custom segment. And oh, and they already have some. If I put marketing and custom segment. Now these are just ones I've created in the past. Okay, so I'm going to do a new segment. And then say looking for marketing jobs or side gigs. I'm going to say interest or purchase intentions. Let's say marketing side gig. Oh, here we go. Freelance digital marketing jobs. And it's giving me some suggestions here. Or digital marketing executive jobs, digital marketing jobs, digital marketing roles, online marketing job, content marketing jobs, digital marketing jobs near me. Okay. Notice I'm straying away from these like marketing graduates. So somebody that just graduated from college or somebody who's entry level. Part of the reason that I'm targeting people that have digital marketing jobs is because I know that they have an income, they have a salary. Somebody who just graduated from college is broken in debt most of the time. Somebody who's looking for entry level is probably not doing great, right? So I'm not interested there. Email marketing jobs, that could be good. I definitely don't want intern. Okay, that's good. I'm going to call that, yeah, okay, that works. Or maybe I'll put a couple of my own in there too. So marketing side gig and marketing side hustle. Cool. Okay. I will save that. And then I want to go to demographics again. And it did not save my, even though I copied and pasted this. Oh, but this is a new audience. Never mind. This is a new audience. So I'm going to put top 10% to top 50%, uncheck unknowns. And then parental status and age. Maybe I put age starting at 25. No, actually, I'm not going to. I'll let it figure that out for me. I don't care about gender. Okay, an audience, I'm going to say looking for marketing jobs, side gigs, dash, top 50% income. Okay, so that's my audience is defined. So that's one of the things I have to change. The other thing that I have to change is, oh no, that's the only thing actually, because I'm going to use the same video. I'm going to use that Do You Realize video. I'm just going to do a different targeting for this. So that's done. And then I would go and copy and paste it again, but put a different video next time. And final thing I have to do is just change the names here. This is, was it that one? No, oops. Click the wrong button. Okay. So this is what? Business professionals. That was the targeting I used in the first one. And then this one is, let's see, looking for marketing job / gig custom. It's for a custom audience. There we go. Cool. So now basically what I can do is I can just look at these, and just from the name, I know exactly what it is. I know what it's promoting. I know which video it is, which ad, and I know who it's targeted to just by looking. So I can compare them without having to dig into all of the stuff. And Jim says, okay, my back. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button on my webinar thing. So, okay. And then, all my chat disappeared. But I think I was responding to a question about targeting specific cities. And I don't like to do that. I like to just let the algorithm figure that out for me, because they could be anywhere, especially now that people are working remote. You know, like a lot of people live in the country that would be a good prospect, and I don't know what cities are the best cities and stuff. So I just let the algorithm to figure that part out for me. And it might notice trends, right? Like it might say, oh, people that live in New York and Florida work better than people that live in Texas and California. It might figure that out, but I don't know. I don't know those patterns. So yeah, that's it. That's how to create one of these new, whatchamacallit, demand gen ads, which is pretty much the same as how you create an old YouTube ad. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load more of these. As you can see, it takes a little while, and then we can hopefully cross our fingers and hopefully we get some good results from this. Now, chances are probably I'm not going to get good results from all of these ads, but the chances that I get good results from at least one of them are pretty good. And one is all I need. If I get one good one, I'll scale that one up and it'll make me money. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.